this. Hey, we are.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
We're live.
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
I'm on the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi. There we are.
Dude.
It's kind of odd seeing yourself.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing today?
I don't know. I think we're going live.
We're going to do how to get the most out of your float experience. And I'm never over here, so I'm going to use cheat sheets. Introduction.
You need to use the sheet?
I know. I've recorded so many. Introduce yourself.
My name is Mason.
And I'm Will. Big
Will,
energy, big excitement. I'm Will! Okay. So, what we kind of want to explain, in our opinion, of course, and all of these are bonuses and ways to get perks and the most out of your whole float experience. Let's start with you. What's something that you can think of that helps you, or advice that we've gotten from clientele?
Just my own personal?
Let's start with your personal.
Okay. For me personally, diet is huge.
Okay.
Pre-floating.
Oh, totally.
I try not to eat too much or too little before I float. Because if I have a full stomach, then I need to get out. Or if I have an empty stomach, then I can hear my stomach growling.
Yeah.
So I try not to eat or drink anything too much before I get it.
Okay. I hydrate usually.
Yeah.
I have this saying, I'm thinking I'm in salt, and I should probably hydrate. I don't know, maybe that's an old thing. I definitely eat right too.
Yeah.
I try to do that mostly in life in general. Sometimes it doesn't show so much.
Hey man.
I know.
Don't say that out loud.
That's true. That's true. Honest admission. A big thing that I wanted to bring up was while you're in the tent, and that would be stretching.
Yeah.
That really, what I learned, I didn't do this the first few times I floated, and then it was recommended, and I point my toes, I put my hands out, and I kind of let my whole body relax. It's a way of almost welcoming the weightlessness. Welcoming the weightlessness.
Smart.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me.
So you're a big stretcher.
Well, it helps me be aware of what I'm in. Helps me be aware of my environment. It's like it almost gets me into, it's like a pre-habit. So once I'm in there, it helps me just acknowledge that I'm going to float. And once I started doing it on a regular, it reminds, it's like muscle memory.
Yeah.
It reminds my body to be in the now and be in the flow.
I do that. I don't know about like full stretch. I usually just get my arms above my head, but what I do is like I'll squeeze my muscles,
Okay.
and then I'll relax them, and then when I'm in the float, like for some reason I can just feel my muscles better, if that makes sense.
No, I do. So it's like you're acknowledging the muscle, or you're feeling the muscle.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll squeeze and then I'll let go and then I'll start floating and I'll just feel like I can feel all my muscles in my arms and my legs.
It almost makes me think it's like a meditation. I mean, I see it that way. So you're like during meditation, or even during yoga, you're making yourself aware of what your body's doing.
Exactly.
So I could see that. We want shout outs. So we'd like to know where you're from. I even pointed. That was like official.
You're doing all the shouting outing today.
No, I did it last time. As you all remember, I did it last time. Way Mason.
Oh yeah.
Didn't do much.
No, I was
just put together a float tent.
Just hanging out.
A big one too, and I wanted to make sure to write this down because it's really important. Though I'm finding, and of course this is personal, is visualize. I know there's a lot of people out there that go in and just want the floating experience and want to shut off, and they don't want to think about anything. They want to be able to get away from the outside world, and that's wonderful. I mean, if you're able to do that, that's something that, well, that's just a big goal of ours.
Yeah.
It's a big perk of the sensory deprivation chamber. As far as visualize, though, for me, I like to go in there with something I want to work on. And whether that be a work scenario or a life scenario, something that's going on that I really want to focus my attention and intentions on. So that's a big way that I get a lot out of my floating experience.
Nice.
But that took a while. So just a warning, I mean, we talk a lot about going floating 3 times. There's always recommend, you're not going to get, not every float's the same. So some people on the very first float, their mind almost feels blown because they've never done that before. Sometimes by the third float, people are understanding the feeling, they're getting more comfortable. So visualizing for me came a while down the road.
Yeah. I also want to add an addendum. Is that what it'd be?
Sure.
But you don't. We say 3 floats, but it can be more or less depending on your personal situation. Some people might need to float 5 or 6 times to really get a good grasp of what it is for them. Some people might need to float once and they know exactly what they want from floating and they know it's for them. So
Totally.
we suggest 3. It's not like it's a rule or a law. It's just sort of something that's helped us.
Yeah.
But it can be more or less depending on who you are and where you are in life.
Yeah, that's really kind of taking an average. I mean, imagine, we're down here and this is what we do every day. So just imagine how many stories we've heard. And so you've got some people that developed a practice that did it for long amounts of time and then started feeling the benefits.
Yeah.
And then we had people that almost immediately felt the benefits of it. So 3 days is just, you'll know what the feeling is like on your body, you'll know what the weightlessness is like, and how can you ever really judge something only doing it once? It's like life and like meditation, it's a habit. So 3 is a good round number.
Yeah.
What about visualization for you?
In the beginning, visualization was big for me because part of the reason I found floating in general before I started working here was I was a college student and I had finals and I had all this stress, and so I just started looking online for ways to help with the stress and then help with school in general.
That can be immense, especially during school.
Yeah, and so eventually I stumbled onto the famous Joe Rogan YouTube video, and that kind of led me to Zen. But yeah, in the beginning, when I was going to college, I was using floating to visualize a lot with papers and exams and finals and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that helped me tremendously in the beginning.
So now that you're done with school.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you take into the tank with you? Like mentally take in there with you?
Yeah, most of it's not good. If I'm being honest.
Well, no, but
you take things that you need
that's
to
a
work
good
out.
honest.
Like for me personally, I take stuff that I know I need to work out,
okay.
and I'll try and work it out in the tent.
See, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a good place. Well, that's another one too, and we didn't even really have that down. That brings up a good point. It's a great place to bring your worry, because it's a place where it's meant for you to let go. I mean, the whole goal is to unplug, right? We're inundated as we hold a phone, as we're staring into a phone, and you're watching this probably on a phone or a computer, some sort of technology. It's a place built to detox, to let go of, to unplug.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good place to bring your worry.
Yeah. We have a question.
Okay.
Rhiannon, I believe that's how you say your name, Rhiannon.
Okay.
They said, how many times do you recommend floating to get the best experience? Every week or every month or?
Well, that's a good question. First, I appreciate it. I think it's subjective. We had Mo, and we talk about her quite a bit. She floated straight for 30 days. Now, that's not something that we're going to tell everybody to go do. We issue challenges, and it's wonderful. The impact that we saw on her mind and body and spirit was, I couldn't have predicted it. She was more focused. Her energy level was up. She had a lot of clarity towards things that I don't know she had clarity with.
Yeah.
So that's on this side, right? Like the extreme end. I guess if I was to recommend, I'd say at least once a week. I would recommend for you to find a day that you feel is the most hectic for you, and I would balance out that day with floating. I mean, if you've got a build up towards that particular day, then there's a reason why that day you need to float, to let go of.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't want to say the law of averages. I mean, you're going to get impact out of every float. I'd say one to at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, I think that's the average here with all of us at Zen, is maybe once a week.
Yeah.
But everybody's different, so if you find that once a week isn't enough, then just hop in. And that's one of the nice things about floating at home, is you can just float in your home.
Well, and what a perk too, because why it's in your home, you get to get out of the tent and you get to maintain that clarity and that energy. You're not going back into a stressful situation. So it's not like you have to get back in your car and drive. You know, you're not going to get honked at 5 minutes after you work out problems and you get centered and balanced. So, I mean, another perk to having it at home. I mean, we have people that sleep overnight in our tents. I mean, these are all, again, just imagine how many stories we've heard and what people do and things. So there's that ratio. I mean, people use it on a nightly basis. So at least once. That's a long way to answer that question. At least once a week.
At least once a week.
Yeah.
She followed up and said, I go with my husband on average maybe once a month, but looking to increase the frequency. Yeah, I mean, if you get the feeling that it's just not enough or you want to explore a little bit more, then, you know, just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a shameless marketing ploy would be, we always recommend you to do that. If you hit at a point to where the cost of driving back and forth and doing something with your husband and that starts to build up, I mean, we definitely recommend you to look into one of our tents at home. But first and foremost, we're glad you're floating. The whole point of us doing this is to spread the message of it. So, and that's awesome. If you can, I mean, if you can incorporate a habit like that, especially something so life-changing with your husband or with your significant other, it's just going to make your relationship that much better. Not like I'm Mr. Relationship Coach or anything, disclaimer, but that's really awesome to hear. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
That was pretty bad, huh? No good relationship advice for me. What else we got? No more questions?
Nothing. I think we're
perfect.
Polly, I saw that she shouted out she was in Canada.
Ooh.
So I think you need to shout out Polly in Canada.
Go hockey! Oh, Canada! Woo!
Go poutine!
Hey, who doesn't love gravy and French fries?
Yeah,
I do. We don't recommend to eat those before you float, but maybe as a treat after.
I feel like I would sink.
Oh yeah.
If you just
I'd hear my belly.
Yeah.
I'd hear my belly.
Yeah.
The next big one would be guided meditation inside the tent.
Yeah.
So part of the great experience and getting it out of it, there are a lot of people who work on meditation in their daily lives, so they're able to really cut out those senses quickly. For those of you out there that are like me, I'm very cerebral, very analytical, so there's times it's really hard for me to shut it off. I mean, and I float on a regular and practice this habit on a regular. So as far as putting headphones in, waterproof headphones, it really, again, it signals to my body to center, to focus on me for just a moment. And it's amazing, the feeling of like, you're not feeling anything, but then you have this deep experience of someone taking you through a meditation. That moment that you come out of the tent, it's just phenomenal. It's almost indescribable.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think for me, I just suck at meditation.
That's honest.
So, like, if I'm just being honest, I'm not very good at it. So to have someone to be able to help me, meditate in my ears, and that's perfect.
Well, and we've got a guided, where would they go for our guided meditation?
It's on our website. We'll post a link. Jamie will post, or someone will post a link in this
Jamie.
chat to our guided meditation.
If you can't think of anything, you want to give it a shot. For those of you out there who have our tents, you probably have our headphones.
Yeah.
If not, we do have those on the site. 9-foot cord, they're waterproof, and that's a perk because you can leave your phone out and no worries about bringing anything into the tent with you.
Yeah.
But give that a shot. I mean, if you find your mind not shutting off, that's a really, really big one that we recommend.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So.
Jamie actually wrote a comment and said, a great way to get the most out of floating is to take the 30-day challenge with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's... I want to be lied about that, but I watched Mo. I mean, that's a hard... It's a hard but worthwhile thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a challenge. And that's why, I mean, Jamie and Mo, to put the work into this and to put that together, maybe we could do something of sharing our experiences.
Yeah, well, we have a 30-day challenge that you can sign up for.
Yeah.
So if you're up for it and you're really getting into floating or you're really heavily into it right now, sign up for the challenge. I think they have a group going where they have a chat and everything. So I think we'll post a link or something.
We'll post a link to it.
Yeah.
It'll make it accessible for you to get to. Well, and think about having a group for it. So now you've got a support structure too. So you've got people behind you that are going to be like, okay, I know you're having a hard day, go float. You're going to have people there pushing you, and you can push other people. Who knows? You might be the catalyst that someone else needs out there. So,
Yeah.
But as far as like us doing it, I think it'd be cool for us to
Every 30 days?
yeah to post and to document. I know Mo did great things, and she if you go to Zen AF, her website, you can watch her progress of everything, and she posted daily, and it was so fun to watch her transformation. So minus seeing what we do, we would love to hear how your experience is going, and then we'll give you shout outs on our Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We can do that.
Yeah. So thanks again, Jamie, for putting that together. I mean, that's a huge challenge and something that we highly recommend to take part of. It's fun for us because it's a way for us to create a platform to spread floating and to just kind of help you in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other ways that you can think of getting the most out of your float experience?
I mean, I think we covered the big ones for me.
Check your-
Stretching, watch what you eat.
Yeah.
Visualization will really help increase your
Guided meditation.
fulfillment of floating. Yeah, guided meditations.
If you're at home and there are other people in the house, that's a really good piece of advice. Make sure they know that you're about to go float. So you can just take care of that environment, make sure you can get it as quiet and as serene as possible.
Yeah.
Check your levels. That'd be a good one. Check your levels.
Check your level.
Just trying to think of all the basics.
Yeah.
Check your levels. Make sure your water is where it should be. Make sure your environment's where it should be, meaning the heat where you want it. I know people fluctuate. Some like a little cooler. Some like a little warmer.
What do you like?
I'm torn. Sometimes, I mean, if it's summertime and it's hot outside, I don't mind a little cooler. My body adapts pretty quick to a little bit cooler, but I do like a warm water. I like the sensation of a warm. I mean, obviously, we're trying to take the sensation out of it, but I don't know. I think it depends on what's going on outside and where I'm at.
I'm a cooler guy.
Okay.
I don't like when it gets hot and you have to like prop the door open if you're at a float spa, or you know what I mean. Like I've
Yeah.
had the shells, had to prop the door open with a towel.
And that takes away from the experience.
Yeah, I mean if you're using one of ours, obviously you can adjust however you want. But if you're at
Yeah.
a float center, it can be hard.
Yeah, because they'll change it for you, but it takes a minute for that water to adapt and to get to that changing ratio. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's another perk of having one at home, because you can fiddle with it and figure out if you like a cooler water or a warmer temperature.
Exactly.
Anything else you want to recommend? Ooh, journaling. That's going to be a good one.
Journaling, yeah.
Something that we're starting to recommend. If you're finding it frustrating or you're wanting to know ways to get more out of it, we recommend documenting your float for you. Write down things that you thought about, or where your mind went, or things that you thought of that you want to approach next time. I think journaling is a really good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good to do in real life, but especially after your float. That way you can challenge yourself even more.
Yeah. Totally.
Am I carrying this?
No,
I think I am.
not at all.
Okay. We told Shane he could eat ice cream one more time. So we told him he didn't have to be here today. We're hoping maybe next time he can do something like power thinking. He's got a really great,
Yeah.
that's kind of him as a MO. Shane's kind of the power thinker down here. So maybe one of these very, very soon we'll do him as an individual. Put him on the spot.
Yeah, that. And also,
You got called out.
last week I put together a tent in about 30 minutes, and Shane said he could do it in half the time. So I think what we're going to have to do one of these weeks is he's going to have to set up the tent, just like I
Okay.
did with no instructions, in 15 minutes.
Let's do that.
So you'll see him in the near future for sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So we have 2 challenges.
Yes.
You're going to do a solo live, and you're going to set up a tent.
Yes.
Let's give him 20.
So mine was 35,
I'm going to be
right?
filming it, so I'm willing.
Mine
Yeah,
was
35.
So 17 minutes.
Okay. You got 17 minutes.
17 and a half minutes.
If not, you're bringing an ice cream for us.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know how I got put in there. Well, for the ice cream, I put myself in there. So as always, we want you to go float. If you have any questions, Mason's the self-dub guru.
Yeah, I didn't.
Self-dub guru. He'll answer any question. He's got the most knowledge down here about water, about anything that you can think of as far as floating and your float tent. So
Yes.
throughout the week, if you didn't watch this live, we'll go ahead and answer questions. If there's a big thing that I love, we love your comments. So if there's any tips out there that have helped you get the most out of your float, you'd be helping someone else. So we'll make sure to acknowledge that next time, or we'll make sure this gets posted on this live.
Yeah.
So we can watch the feed.
Also, Polly, your stuff is on the way, so keep in touch. Let me know how it goes.
Any more shout outs?
No, I think we're good.
Canada's a big one.
Canada's huge.
So like, if it's from another country, that covers everything, right? Like it's one and big?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
We shouted out different foods and sports.
Okay.
We got it. We're good.
All right. This has been Zen, Mason, Will. I got to get up and turn it off now.
And I have to sit here and carry while he does that.
Well, I carried the whole time.
Goodbye.
All right, Emily. Thanks a lot.